Hello, my name is Meekat Hadi, and today we're going to be going through the IT202 final demo. Each student has a different project, and for my project, I did a shop page, and this is what the home page will look like once you are able to register and log into the page. You will see about 10 items that you can put in your cart in order to buy. However, before we have to get there, we must register an account and log into it in order to access the home page. So this is the home page with the register, this is the register page where you can input your email, your username, password, and confirm password. This is what it'll look like once you put it in correctly. However, there are some exceptions if you do it incorrectly, or there are some validation errors. So, such as putting in the incorrect email. If you use an invalid email, the passwords don't match. The password is invalid when you try to log in, and as well as emails and usernames that have been used before. If you have already created an account prior and you try to create a new account with an already registered email or username, an validation error will pop up. And for all of the input values, whenever you do put in your email, username, or password when creating an account or logging in, a select statement on the data users table will be ran to verify a password, email, or username once it is submitted. If it is correct from the table, the user will be sent to the homepage. If not, a pop-up message will occur, such as the shown. Once you do log in, you'll be sent to the home page where you can navigate through the taskbars such as home, profile, and logout. If you do fail to log in, the same thing that I've discussed before prior with logging in, such as email and invalid password. If you do input this incorrectly. So once you do log in, of course, you do have the option to log out, and this is where I use cookies and sessions. They were utilized. After you do log out, a reset function will reset the session, which will stop the user from using the back button to regain access to protected pages that do require a login. So from here, once you do log out, it says log out. If you do want to go back, you must log back in order to access the page, or else users can just get in without having to log in. And especially if you log out from the home page and you try to go back, a message will say you don't have the permission to view this page, where this will be documented on the user's data table from the admin bar. So the profile page, this is where you can reset your passwords, and same thing applies as prior. Everything will be ran through a select statement once you do input said email or password. And this is where the users table will document whenever a user has tried to create a username or a password. So as you see from email, password, at the time it was created. So for the latest one, I used milestone 1, and I did try to change the username to milestone 01, which I was able to. Okay, so I do have, of course, I am the admin. I had access to the original admin page. So this is the item creation tab. So I did create 10 items with video games. So right here, I did use the, one second. Yeah, so I did use forms to create the item page, and this is where the data was collected, where eventually it was documented on a different table. And yeah, this is the homepage for the shop, where if you are able to, you can apply filters to filter out specific objects. So I used placeholders for each object. So for example, the name of each video game or object, and then the description of it, in order to be able to filter each object even more through categories and as well as price. So as you see at the bottom, I've filtered each category by video game, filtered by name through Xbox, and by price from highest to lowest, where we got 2 with Elden Ring and Sekiro Xbox. And here's the sort and logic code for that. The inputs were added to the form in order to apply the filters, which was used by the user input. And once the input values were inserted, a post request was ran, which was set after the user did click onto the apply filters button, which is why there was two objects that were shown after it was filtered by category, name, and price. And this is all the products list that was edited, that was inserted. So I had 10 different objects. I did use a test to see if it did work in the first place. And there is an edit button where I can change the visibility if I do want to show it on the original home screen. So for example, the testing. This was part of the original homepage that eventually, where was it? That eventually I did take out because this was just used as a test. So I did not show it first, and then eventually I did show it in the home page. As you see at the top, the database had it as false. I set the visibility to true, and once I did press update, the database was able to set it to true, and it did show on the original homepage. If we go to the beginning, so right here with test. So now if we want to add an item to the cart, we can just press add item to one of the objects, one of the items. So for example, PlayStation 5, and we can change the quantity, and we'll get the overall price, and the database will take this in as well. So essentially how this works is if the cart checks if the user is first logged in, and after the user clicks on to add cart, the user is added to the cart page, which is this page right here, and a post request is ran where the item will be inputted into the cart. So these are the different ways that I did show the items being used in the cart, such as changing the quantity. So for example, we have the small text bar pointing out to you, PlayStation 5 Elden Ring 5,700 5,700. If I did want to change the quantity to 2 PlayStation 5s, the price would change to 10,000 to the subtotal of 10,700. And then this is just another example of it with changing the quantity, which will in turn change the price. Also, I did put that you can have a negative quantity. That is not possible. So in the scenario that a message will be displayed if the quantity is set to less than 0 for a specific item, a warning message will show up with please select a value that is no less than 0. I used a function called die, which stops the execution for the script, and the user will be sent to the cart page if this is done. Where am I? So this is another example of it with the Lego set on PlayStation 5. I tried to set to -1 or -10, for example. A pop-up message will show up. So now deleting items from the cart. So this is just the original cart with the Lego set PlayStation 5. I press the X button right here, which will remove the Batman Lego set to the PlayStation 5 alone. And I use the delete case, where the query statement was ran delete from cart where. And then this is where I cleared all of the items that was in the cart. Just press clear cart to no items in the cart, where I use the clear case statement where all of the items that was stored in the cart was cleared, running another SQL query statement. The statement executed the execute method, where once it is done correctly, a message is ran where all the items have been removed from the cart successfully. So yeah, that is my shop webpage, and yeah, that's it. Oh, also before I stop, there's a few questions I have to answer. I think. Let me do that real quick. Where is it? What are my thoughts on the project? It's a good project. I thought it was fun. It did take a little bit of it. Did take a long time to make. How has the project influenced you? The project influenced me to. I had a lot of fun working with CSS. I had a little bit of experience before heading into this class, but being able to utilize it for this project has helped me build my experience for it, and also just tinkering with certain colors and CSS files, text as well. It was definitely fun to learn. What was your impression on web development? My impression on web development was great. I thought it became even more. A lot more interested in using it on much more deeper projects than before. Obviously, this was a simple project. However, it was a little bit challenging trying to run certain statements, but it was fun in the end. I guess the thing that I didn't like was just the overall coding. I hate coding, but getting the end result of it is fun. Uh, but trying to tinker with it, sometimes running into errors, it does suck. However, overcoming it does feel good. Is something that interests you? I guess it interests me a little bit. There are some few things that I don't like, such as coding. I know it is a big part of it. However, once you understand the baseline of it, it does get easier over time. Though, as it gets more complex, you will gain more experience the more that you do it. I could make another website, but depends if I really want to for my free time. But if I do it for another project, I guess I have to. But yeah, that's the demo. Thank you for listening. Bye.